Hey everyone, John here, and I got the chance to sit down with Hideki Kamiya and Atsushi Inaba to discuss the wonderful 101 and Platinum games at large. We found out a lot of cool things, and I'm going to relay some of the best questions that are in there. So without further ado, let's dive in. So the success of the Wonderful 101 Kickstarter was massive. Were you guys expecting such big results from the Kickstarter?
To be honest, we had no idea what to expect. There were times when we were worried that no one was going to show up to help. So we are just so grateful and so appreciative of all the fans and how everybody just really went over our expectations and made it such a great success for us. Thank you.
What was it like working with Nintendo to get the rights to the Wonderful 101? And was that difficult?
To be honest, I don't know if it would be right for us to just try to discuss that without Nintendo being here, because I think that they would probably want, us to be a part of the conversation. But I do think that just the fact that we were able to get to release speaks for everything. The fact that Nintendo was able to help us to get to achieve that is all that matters, and I'm so happy that we were able to.
And you're able to replace their name in the title screen with a safety hazard notice. Was that just a joke on your part, or was there anything else you wanted to replace that notice with at the beginning?
With this time around, it has changed publishers. So when you do change publishers, you have a lot of conversations about how the logo should be displayed at the opening. We had a lot of talks like that. That's how it worked out. But I don't think that there's any intention of replacing with a hazard logo.
I have an off-topic question for Mr. Kamiya. So I've noticed on Twitter that you are a big fan of Tetris 99. So how many wins have you had? And also, if you could have any Platinum Games theme in the game, what game would you use to represent Platinum?
Maybe if you're aware, in Tetris 99, there are a few different levels of players. I've worked my way up to the VIP rank, to the VIP, so I can kind of hang out with, I guess, the most elite players. But still in there, if I play a few matches a day, it's still a question of if I can get number one once a day or not. I'm not on some huge winning streak or anything. I do enjoy a lot of the collaboration, the themes that they're doing. I remember they did Ring Fit a little while ago, and I was enjoying that. If we had to do something from Platinum, I'd have to say Wonderful 101, right? I think that would be fun.
Well, now that Platinum fully owns the Wonderful 101, is there a chance of a sequel happening in the future?
There's never been a moment that I've thought I don't want to make a sequel to this game. If you're going to do a sequel, you've got to always do it bigger and better. And can we? We feel that there's a lot of content and a lot of quality in the original. Right now, we just feel it would be nice if the day comes where we could, but it would be a challenge. When I've made games in the past, I've had the tendency to set the volume of the game, the scope of the game to, let's say, 10. And then as time passes through development, suddenly that 10 becomes an 11, becomes a 12, becomes a 13, becomes a 14. I feel that that's how we went with Wonderful 101. And I feel that just like Inaba-san is saying, we'd have to, go bigger and better for the next round. So when I think of the word sequel, and I think about the size that we ended up with the original, it kind of scares me if we could pass that original hurdle we've set for ourselves.
What's the future of your partnership with Nintendo going to be like? You're currently developing Bayonetta 3, and you've recently shipped Astral Chain. Is that going to continue, or is Platinum Games just going to be a self-publisher from now on?
First of all, I just want to say, I don't know if it's really up to us to make the decision that we're just going to keep working with Nintendo. I think that, we have to hold favor with them, and we have to work hard to, want to have them work with us in the future. But still, while we're interested in self-publishing, I feel that it's always been interesting to do projects with other publishers and see the possibilities that those hold. That's something that I'll say not just for Nintendo, but for any of the publishers that we work with. Self-publishing has always been our dream. We're really looking forward to, and we're happy that we've been able to start to accomplish that. But we're also very interested in still working with other companies as well.
How's the development of Bayonetta 3 going? And has the pandemic impacted development at all?
I'll let Kamiya remark on Bayonetta 3, but just to touch on how COVID has affected us as a company for a second, since we just touched on that. I will say, of course, it's not just for us, but anywhere, I'm sure, something that was unexpected and something that was a new learning curve, something that we definitely have had to take a lot of new steps to try to get used to. How much that has impacted our work, I think honestly that's something that we're going to have to see. You know, we're working from home. We're trying to do what we can to get to kind of work with this new work style. It's still very early, and I think that how well we're able to adapt is really going to show how we can, you know, not with just this situation, but with any other situation to pop up as a company. It's a challenge for us. This might take a while for me, so you might want to write this all down, but it's going fine.
While we're talking about Nintendo, Star Fox Zero is one of the few games that hasn't been ported over to the Switch thus far.
To be honest, we wouldn't have the slightest clue. Star Fox Zero was a bit of a special case for us. I'm not sure if you're aware, but you know, for example, for something like The Wonderful 101, that would be a game where we had an idea for a game we wanted to make. We talked about it with Nintendo and decided, hey, let's make this, let's work on it together. Star Fox was, you know, an IP that Nintendo has had way before we entered the picture. That was a game that they were interested in making and kind of just lent out an offer to us. Hey, would you like to kind of work on this with us? As far as the future of any ports or whatever may be concerned, no conversations have come our way. I don't think it's something we would be involved in, to be honest.
Well, circling back to Platinum's own games, one of the very first from the ground up developed games that you're self-publishing is Project GG. So do you view that as a very special project? And what makes it special?
I will say there was a dog came out in the trailer, cute little dog, and got a lot of comments about him. A lot of fans of his popped up, and so I'm thinking about giving him a much more important role in the actual title.
The next generation of consoles coming up, being the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, does that open up new avenues for Platinum Games? And are you excited about the new hardware possibilities?
Every time a new line of consoles roll around, Kamiya-san is always just, his dreams are always just a few steps ahead. When PlayStation 5 comes out, he's probably going to have dreams the size of PlayStation 8. I'm sure, you know, I'm sure that in our lives as game developers, I don't know if we're ever going to reach the point where Kamiya might be able to find a console that will be able to, you know, package all of his dreams, but it's always exciting to see a new one pop up in new possibilities.
Well, with the excitement of Platinum self-publishing, I know that one game fans really want to see, and it's a banished word, is Scalebound. Is that possible that that game could return, or is that stuck with Microsoft?
We don't think that it's a forbidden topic or anything like that. We're happy to talk about it. Though the IP does still rest with Microsoft, you know, we do get a lot of fans still that do show interest in the title. And we're always happy to see that there are still people that are really interested in it coming out one day. The fans are thinking, you know, like there was a lot of possibilities or a lot of cool things it looked like Kamiya might have been able to accomplish with that title, you know. And we also think, man, it would be really nice to have that kind of opportunity, but it's not for us to say. Kamiya just is adding, you know, if you want to see it again, then please send a letter to Phil Spencer.
Phil, let's do it again together.
Yeah, I lied when I said there was one more question, because I actually have one more. So, if you both could have one character in Super Smash Brothers, who would you choose? Doesn't have to be Platinum, it could be any character.
Amaterasu.
I'd like Amaterasu. You gotta put Joe in there, you gotta put Amaterasu in there, have those be the four. It's like, then I could put, you know, have Leo in there, put Wonder Red in there, but that would, I don't know, be more my game at that point.
Okay, well, Mr. Inaba, Mr. Kamiya, and our translator, Andrew, thank you for joining me for this. This was a lot of fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed this interview, and let us know your favourite tidbit down below. Until then, thank you for watching, and of course be sure to subscribe to Game Explain for a lot more on Platinum, and other things gaming too. Until next time, bye.